world of YouTube. I'm about to leave. I'm going to go spend a few days at my daughter's. Her cat had cancer in its eye and had its eye removed this week. So I'm going to go there and spend a few days so that her cat isn't alone during the day when she's at work. So I'll get to check out their new place because they just moved and got a new place. And then I guess I get to be, what do you call it, grand cat mom? Grandma cat mom? Something like that. But anyway, so I'm going to go away for a few days. Today I'm going to use the day to do some things that I don't normally get to do. Go get some stuff to make a Halloween blanket, and I need to look for a pair of shoes. Shoes for me are hard. That's one of the, I don't know if it's a side effect of the medicine or just like a result of the cancer in my bones, but I have a really hard time with shoes, any shoes. Most of the time I'm either barefoot or I wear slippers. So flip-flops I can tolerate a little bit, but it's like anything that like touches my feet, mostly on the top, is painful. So I'm on a mission to find I need a slip-on shoe and something that I can tolerate for a few hours. I don't like shoes that you have to like put on your feet or tie, or stuff like that. I can't, that I can't handle. So I might go look at those, gosh, what are they called? Those new shoes, dudes, hey dudes. I think those are slip-ons. See if I can find some. I don't like the ones that I see because they do like cover the top of your foot, and I can't have that. So I might go try looking at some hey dudes. But anyway, I'm gonna do some fun stuff, and then we're gonna go have a nice dinner, and then spend the night in a room, and then in the morning I will head over to my daughter's. But so I'm a little bit looking forward to getting out of here a little bit. I'm home 99.9% of the time. So that's my plan for the next few days. Hopefully I'll check in while I'm at my daughter's, and her new place has a really nice pond, I think, or a pond, or like one of those spouts right next to it. So I guess I'll get to have my own pond view, which will be great. And what else? Really nothing else new. It's cooled down. Thankfully, we finally got rid of the heat wave. We're now into the high 70s. It's shady out, no sun, which is great, my type of weather. Oh gosh, what else? The park that we are members at, their board meeting is today. I kind of wish I could have went, but I can't because I've been here getting ready, and it's not easy for me to get up early and look presentable and get my stuff packed. So Baldy went for a little bit, but there's a lot of crap going on in this park. And I actually asked God to heal my cancer this morning and heal my legs, because I feel like sometimes like I just want to get back into the fight of life, and I just get so angry. Like there's some petty rules in the park that we pay in. And here's the thing. We had to buy our lot. We bought it. So, okay, you own the land, and then we own our tiny home. I guess some of this you could say is our own fault, because you don't think about everything when you purchase. And at the time that we purchased this was all that we could do. This goes back to, I don't know which video where I talked about when Baldy had his last episode, and it pretty much devastated us financially, and we left our home, and then we had to come out here. So that's probably why we didn't do any checking, because we were just trying to survive. So anyway, you get in here, you get a tiny home, and then you find out, hey, I'd like to add like a little screen room. When things got better, I started thinking it'd be nice to have a deck off my tiny home, and then maybe a year-round screen room, since we stay here through the holidays. The plan is we stay through the holidays, and then we get out after Christmas, and we try to go somewhere semi-warm. But anyway, sometimes we had to stay because last year we had to stay, and the year, well, no, 1 year we had to stay because Greg had some health issues and we just couldn't go. So we've had to stay in this harsh climate. So anyway, we found out you can't have a deck unless you've already had one, and you no longer can have like a screen room or a year-round attached screen room unless you've already been grandfathered in. Okay, I can live with that. The deck I can't. In 2008, this place had a really bad flood, and the county got involved and the DNR got involved. And that's when it was decided that you can no longer have decks or anything unless they were grandfathered in from that time, and unless you're a handicapped person, then you can have a deck, which I am, and so we're going to get one. But anyway, so those are the two major things that we found out. But okay, let me remind you, we own our lot, we own our land, we own our tiny home. In our driveway last summer, we parked our pop-up because Greg had to do some work on it. And he can't always get to things, when other people feel that he should be able to do it. Whatever, I don't know. But our pop-up sat in our driveway for a couple weeks. People in this park literally stopped, took pictures of our pop-up in our driveway, brought it up to the management and complained that our camper was in our driveway. You're only allowed one camper on site, but that's to use, not to, like we were working on it. It was closed up. It wasn't even open. So, of course, we were told we had to pay storage for the pop-up and get it out of our driveway. They gave us like 5 days to get it out. The manager was, you could tell that they don't want to do this crap, but you get enough people whining, they got to kind of enforce the rules. A lot of the rules they'll let slide. So anyway, we were told we had to move it. If we didn't in these 5 days, then we would accumulate, I think it was a $50 fine per day. So yeah, we rented our storage and moved it. That kind of petty crap, I have no toleration for that. So anyway, in this park, you can't build on or add on, okay? So we've adjusted to that now. But there is someone in this park who, they had some damage to their tiny home, so they decided to build up. They removed their roof. They had to replace their roof, that's what it was. So they removed their roof, and they're building up. They're building like a loft area for grandchildren, whatever. And I know who the people are. And I ended up stopping and I said, my gosh, with all the crap going on in this park, do you have to have a permit for this? Can you do this? I'd hate to see you do this and have to get it torn down and whatever. And no, you can build up. They said, you can build up. You don't need a permit. You can build up. You just can't build out. So I was like, cool. That's a way to beat the little system. More power to you. I've got more important things in my life than to ride around and see who's breaking rules. I got more important things in my life than, complaining about someone who's adding on or whatever. I just don't live my life that way. Never have, never will. And so anyway, I'm happy for them. They're building up. And we ride by fairly often to see how it's looking and how it's doing. So come to find out, Greg was out today. He went down because there's also some voting things going on in our park. I'm just rambling, just talking to you. But anyway, he stopped and talked to this person, and they told him that someone had stopped and took pictures and is complaining to the manager of the park about this add-on that goes up. Not this way, it goes up. And the manager realized they can't really do anything because you can go up. So then this person, whoever, group of people, person, whatever, decided to go to the county, and they brought pictures. And so then this couple got a letter from the county that whatever they're doing, if it can't be removed with a certain weight of a truck, then they can't do it. That's all that they heard from the county. But then that guy said, well, that makes no sense, because then just about every trailer, tiny home, fifth wheel in this park would have to be removed because everything in here weighs over that. So anyway, that kind of ticked Greg off, ticked me off, and I've been sitting in my room this morning as I'm getting ready, excuse my French, bitching up a storm about the people in this park that have nothing to do with their life other than to complain about what people do on their properties. So Greg is we were going to leave now, but Greg is going to go to the meeting for a little bit and see what's going on. I told him, make sure you stand by the gentleman that's building this so that you show your support for him. And then, so that's where he is. He's off to do that. I'm at a place in my life, and I don't usually, well, my YouTube is new, so I haven't, and I made a decision when I started my YouTube that I wasn't going to go into anything political. I don't want to get into that with people. I don't want to be forced to defend myself, or I don't want to be put in a position where I get angry at others because I don't feel they understand, or whatever. I don't know, that's not making any sense. Either way, I didn't want to get anything political. So, but this brought me back to sometimes we have no choice. We have no choice in this case. Government overreach is out of control. There is no reason that people shouldn't be able to have a deck in a campground. I mean, really, please, you can't have a deck unless you're a handicapper. Think about that. You're in a campground, for criminy sakes. The additions and stuff, I guess I can understand, because if there's no some type of rules or whatever, I've seen campgrounds that get out of control and they don't have guidelines and stuff. I've seen how nasty they can get. And this campground is very nice, very classy, and I'd like to keep it that way. I do think they could, allow screen rooms, maybe have like some guidelines and stuff, but whatever, we don't. We have visited another park recently that you can do all that, and we think here and there about possibly leaving. My problem is, of course, my oncologist. I just got an oncologist close to my house, and I don't want to move an hour or so away and have to start all over or start the drive again. I don't want to do that. So more than likely I will rot here. But anyway, sometimes you're forced to step in and try to stop the overreach of government. And in this park, the overreach is insane. It's just crazy. Like, they literally ride. I now know who they are. I now know their cars. I used to work at the county, so I know. But I've had them sit in front of my property. I've had them sit and, write down their little notes and jot and take photos. I've literally sat out there and yelled at them to get the hell off my property. I've told them, you're not coming up into my yard. You're not doing this. I don't care. Find me. I don't care. If we don't take a stand as people, this is going to continue to get worse. I read something today that I don't know what state this is in, what law, but they're trying to pass a law where people can only have 2 beers a week. Think about what I just said. They're trying to make it a law where you can only have 2 beers a week. Number one, how do you enforce that? Are they going to start coming to our homes, knocking on our door, checking our refrigerators, giving us breathalyzers, whatever? Think about what I just said. 2 beers a week. Now, I grew up in an alcoholic home. I don't like alcohol for the most part. I occasionally have a drink. I don't like cigarettes. I don't smoke. But I also like our freedoms. And to think that we are at a point in the United States of America where we actually have someone that thinks it's a good idea to propose a law or a mandate, whatever, where Americans can only have 2 beers a week, scares the crap out of me. But more than scares me, angers me to no end. Like I said, I'm going to remain unpolitical as much as I can on my YouTube channel. I want my discussions to be fun, joyful, that appeal to everybody. I don't want to get into this crazy world that we're living in. But sometimes you have to, because if we don't, like I said, the overreach is knocking on our doors. I grew up in an alcoholic home. I don't agree with alcoholism. I don't agree with people that drink too much. But I will be the first one in line to say, you have no business telling people they can only have 1 or 2 beers. You can't do that. Okay, the cigarette stuff I understand, like you shouldn't smoke in restaurants or where we used to smoke. I remember when I first flew, they smoked on airplanes. And I remember how uncomfortable that was because I'm not a smoker. So all that kind of stuff I agree with. And I agree with labeling on cigarettes, what potentially can happen to people. But they haven't stepped the boundaries of that yet by like saying, well, you can only buy 1 pack a week, or you can only... But this beer stuff is bizarre to me. So anyway, that brings me back to this morning when Baldy was talking about that he really wanted to go to the meeting today because of whoever this group of people is that rides around the park and takes pictures of people's properties and then runs to the manager. When the manager doesn't do anything, then they run to the county. I literally, if I could walk and if I could move faster and I got my act together this morning and, was all packed and ready to go, I would go to that meeting and I would, without even knowing who it is, because we're not going to know who it is unless they identified themselves, I'd stand up and say, for those that want to ride around the park and take pictures of what's in a person's driveway, for those that want to drive through the park and whine about someone who's building up, which is perfectly fine, get out of the park. Sell your site and leave. Please, get out. We don't want you here. We don't want people like that here. I don't. Young, old, wherever you are, I don't want you here. If that's all you have time to do, that kind of stuff, get out. Get out. And that's what I want to say. I told Greg to say it. I doubt he'll do it. But anyway, that's where I'm at. So I was forced back into thinking about today, like the beer comment or post that I read, and then this stuff going on in the park again angers me to no end. My site is one of the nicest sites in the park. It's clean, it's well kept, it's landscaped. It is one of the nicer sites, one of the bigger sites too. To think that someone took pictures of my pop-up in my driveway because we were repairing it to go away for winter just angers me to no end. I don't understand that. I mean, there's so much to do in life. You got a life. You got grandchildren. You got your own home. You got things to do. How do you have time to do this stuff? And why? Were you always this petty? Were you like this always? Usually it's the elderly people. Okay. I'm elderly now. I'm sickly. I'm immobile. I don't care what people do as long as they take care of their lot. I don't care. I enjoy riding around looking at what people do and how they improve it. I enjoy it. The mindset of some people, I don't get it. That's my rant for today. I'm just rambling. I guess, you know what, YouTube, you've become like my little friend that I don't have. So whoever chooses to listen to me, I appreciate it. I don't have the girlfriends anymore that I can call up and say, can you believe they're doing this crap? I don't have that. So you're my friend. So you're elected. You get to sit and listen to me go on and on and on. I'm about ready to leave. Greg should be back anytime, and we're going to load up our little minivan and head to my daughter's, which is about an hour away. I don't know how long I'm going to be. It depends on how the cat is. If the cat's doing okay, my plan is to come back on Wednesday. If the cat's kind of struggling, then I will probably stay until Friday. But unless my daughter kicks me out. Usually I'm a good guest. I think I'm a good guest. I stay out of people's way. I cook for them. I clean for them. When they get home from work, I make sure that there's a meal on the table. I already got all my meals packed and planned. And then this time I asked what they wanted, not what I wanted. So I bought stuff to make what they requested. And then I plan on making a Halloween blanket. I was done with those chunky blankets because Lord knows how many blankets can you have, right? I've made so many chunky blankets, one for every holiday, one for everything. And I've been giving them to my son, who uses them until they literally like fall apart because his kids stick their toes through them and then they disintegrate. So I just keep giving to my son. But I'm going to make a Halloween one for myself. And so I'm going to work on that while I'm gone. I hope to catch up on my Bible study and do that. And what else is my plan? That's probably it. I'll be alone for like 8 hours a day. And I'm not a TV watcher. Oh, I brought one magazine. I may pick up another one. So, probably sit by the window and watch the water and rest. That's pretty much all I do. There's not like a whole lot. I'm hoping that their new house is set up like their old house, where I could go into their garage and my scooter was in there, and then I could hop on my scooter and ride through the neighborhood. If it isn't like that, I won't be able to get outside, which will really suck beans, but it is what it is, right? So, I thank you all for listening to me. Have a good weekend. I hope it's cooled off where you are. And I will try to do another video while I'm at my daughter's and just chat. See y'all later.